What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished up watching Richard Riakporhe versus Krzysztof Glowacki, and this was a 12-rounder in the cruiserweight division, and this fight was Saturday, January 21st, from the Manchester Arena in Manchester, England, and this fight was broadcasted on DAZN, and in this fight, Richard Riakporhe was able to stop Krzysztof Glowacki in the 4th round to get one of the best victories of his career thus far. So this was a very solid win in the end for Riakporhe. Leading up to the stoppage, I had this bout scored 29-28 in favor of Riakporhe. But, yeah, even though Glowacki in these past few years hasn't looked as great as he did, obviously in his prime, he's not in his prime anymore, obviously, but still, this is a very good win. In Riakporhe's favor, nonetheless, but just to break it down round by round, the first round was a very competitive round, could have went either way. I edged it to Glowacki. I thought that he simply just did better coming forward. He was a bit more active. Riakporhe was able to land a nice right hand off the back foot on Glowacki, but still, nonetheless, I thought that Glowacki had better work coming forward and was simply more active, throwing some nice combinations. Then around number 2, this was a big round for Riakporhe. He landed a massive right hand near the end, flush on Glowacki's chin that buckled him back against the ropes. Glowacki was so wobbled, he almost hunched over, and I believe he might have actually touched one of his gloves to the canvas, and the ref didn't notice it. But, I mean, he really got hurt in the second round. But then it looked like he was almost out in that second round. But then, like, 10 seconds after, he looked like he was sort of rejuvenated a little bit and looked like it just woke him up. But, I mean, in the moment, it looked like that he could have been stopped or even dropped. So that was a big round for Riakporhe. Then in the third round, it was shaping up to be a very competitive and good round. Glowacki had some good work early in the third, but then later on, Riakporhe landed like a string of right hands, like 3 right hands in a row on Glowacki that buckled him back, and one of them was a very big right hand that buckled Glowacki into the ropes. Riakporhe went in with big combinations on Glowacki. Glowacki wasn't defending himself that great, and the referee waved it off. So nonetheless, this was a very good win for Richard Riakporhe. And this goes into question, what is next for him? I believe that this might be his 15th win or 16th win or something like that. I'm pretty sure. But nonetheless, I mean, he's coming off some very solid wins, obviously topping it off with this win over Glowacki. He's had a good, past year and a half. So, I mean, yeah, for Riakporhe, I mean, he's fighting on Sky Sports. He's getting some solid wins, fighting some solid opposition. I wouldn't mind seeing him take on someone inside the top 10 in the cruiserweight division. Like Glowacki, he was just hanging on inside or outside, just in there in the past few years since he's really gone out of his prime. But, I mean, I think that Riakporhe should definitely face someone well inside the top 10 in the cruiserweight division in his next fight after coming off of these few very solid wins in the cruiserweight division, obviously getting this stoppage win. Early stoppage win, in fact, over Krzysztof Glowacki. But as for Glowacki losing here for, I believe this might be the 5th time of his career or the 4th time of his career. But recently his chin hasn't looked that great. He got knocked out by Okoli, knocked out by Bradis, and now stopped by Riakporhe. So, I mean, it's really been a tough few years for him. Since obviously being world champion and whatnot. But, I mean, for Glowacki, I definitely can expect him going back to Poland, taking on some easy-level competition, getting some very solid or just very easy stay-busy wins. And then he'll, I think, go back, get called up by, like, a DAZN or one of these big promotions and maybe get called up to face one of these, like, rising top 15 cruiserweights that are really going in this sort of superstardom, like trying to build themselves up and trying to get back or trying to get into the top 10. And Glowacki, it seems like he's sort of turning into, I guess you could say, a stepping stone for these rising cruiserweights as opposed to a serious contender for the world title. So overall, Richard Riakporhe stops Krzysztof Glowacki in the 4th round to get one of the best victories of his career thus far. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.